All right, so in times like these, you really have to recognize that we are living in something like The Walking Dead. And the people with knowledge, the people with awareness, especially neurodivergent people, we know this and we can see it. There's all these humans, but there's no souls and there's no mind. You see all these people who are literally operating off their pre-programmed desires and their pre-programmed responses. It's no different than a robot. When this happens, they do this. When this happens, they say this. It's the same automated response. It's the same automated action every time. Zombies. And the problem is, if you are somebody with a certain amount of light within, you can fuck yourself up by not realizing where you're at and not realizing who you're talking to. You know what I mean? Or you waste your time arguing with somebody who don't know shit. You know what I mean? Because really, what happens is, we live in a world where there are so many people that are uneducated, so many people who don't have knowledge, so many people who don't understand themselves and the world around them, that when you go outside with your common sense and with your knowledge and your pattern recognition, it just doesn't make sense to them. It is opposite to whatever all these other people are doing. And if you're not careful, they will try to convince you, they will try to gaslight you, into making you feel like you're tripping, into making you feel like the shit is all in your head. You know what I mean? And I really think in times like these, the best thing you could do is to go over your lessons, whatever that means to you. You know what I mean? Go over whatever your foundation of knowledge is. Read that book again. Do that study again. Do that research again. You need to reaffirm your foundation. You need to revalidate your school of thought to yourself frequently. Because if not, all the bullshit that they putting out into the world, it's just going to confuse you and it's going to knock you off your square. And it's going to have you feeling like you're tripping, but you're not tripping. But they're going to make you feel like that. And not only that, you got to find a way to be around other people, other living beings with a mind and a soul and a consciousness. You know what I mean? You can't just be hanging around dead motherfuckers all the time, because then you going to think like that. You're going to turn into a zombie. You are going to turn into somebody with pre-programmed responses and pre-programmed desires. You know what I mean? Your life is pretty much just existing as a battery for capitalism. So, I don't know. I guess everybody can do what they want to do. But I know for me, this shit is crazy every time I walk outside and I can see all these people who just shit don't know what's going on, and they are just walking around like a blind dog. And the only way I don't get lost in it, and the only way I don't let that shit really get to me, is I have to remind myself of certain knowledge. I have to remind myself of certain understandings. I have to go back and reopen certain books. I have to go back and look at certain notes. Hell, I even have to go back and look at my own books just to reaffirm myself and just to check back and just to realign myself. And it seems to be helping this far. So if you have any ideas or recommendations to how real human beings, people with a mind, people with a soul, people with something in here, if you have any advice for how people like this can keep their sanity and humanity in the land of the Walking Dead, leave them in the comments. And until next time, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.